Alright, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Welcome to the daily space weather video. Starting things out looking at the sun at 193 angstroms here. The coronal hole system rotating out of the Earth-facing region. Small, fairly weak-looking active region rising here down in the southeast. Let's take a close-up of that. Small little active region there, 0 sunspots. And there's the rest of the view. That's about 10 hours and 15 minutes worth of solar data from today. Big-time filaments down there in the southeast as well. Right behind that small active region. And there's about 10 hours and 15 minutes in 304 angstroms. Here's the northern view, scrolling into the image. We're doing just the data today in today's space weather video. So let's move on to the X-ray flux, which is quite flatline. 10.7 centimeter radio flux. And another measure of solar activity, in addition to sunspot number, down to 70, as we see very low activity on the sun. KP index is at 1, was briefly at 2 about 6 hours ago. And next we'll look at the real-time solar wind. Solar wind density 3.52 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed 345 kilometers a second. And here's the geospace magnetosphere movie. Pretty weak magnetosphere, folks, but a little more normal than it's been. Anyway, there's 4 hours of data on that. And let's look at the geospace ground magnetic perturbations. Changes in the Earth's B field. Nothing too exciting happening there. We'll let all 4 hours of data play. By the way, Terry, we're picking up the coffee today at the shop. We'll let you know. Becky said she liked the Indonesian. And there's the data from the ACE spacecraft. Looking the same as Discover. Relativistic electrons have dipped down as forecasted. Just like the regular electrons, the GOES electron flux. Looking at electrons greater than or equal to 2 mega electron volts. Flatlined, cratered actually, as we forecasted. And we're expecting to see this come back up in about 24 hours. Next we'll look at the ionosphere as we do most days. This is 6 hours of data on the ionosphere, courtesy of Australian Government Bureau of Meteorology, and I've spilled coffee on myself yet again. Anyway, there's 6 hours of data from that. Anomalous charge-up zones showing up once again in the South Pacific, out in the middle of nowhere. And there's the latest image, that one at 10:15 UT. GOES magnetometers are in a fairly higher range here, as we've been solidly in the South Pole-oriented portion of the heliospheric current sheet here for a while. We've got some missing data out of the GOES 16 about 4 hours ago. Next, we'll look at the Gong 2 data, which is quite old. And I'll press refresh here, and you can see the latest data. Oh, all right, we got an update. Nice. So when we were doing show prep, we had old data here. Now we've got newer data. And not a lot going on in terms of the magnetic environment. Expecting to remain in the South Pole-oriented portion of the current sheet shown here in red for an extended period of at least 2 days, probably even longer than that. The past 24 hours of earthquakes has been quite slow, actually. Quite a lull in earthquakes. Although we do see this deep 4.8 magnitude quake in the Philippines at 104 kilometers depth. And I'm just going to scroll up the list here, folks. Puerto Rico still getting hit with aftershocks following that 6.4 magnitude quake on January 7th. No quakes over a 6 magnitude. And not a lot of deep quakes either, although there is one at a 4.3 magnitude and 210 kilometers depth in western South America. Next, we'll look at the windy.com pressure maps, as we're about to get snowed on, just like the north central U.S. did. And we'll let that advance. This is the GFS pressure model forecast. And there's the forecast for where pressure systems are anticipated to be according to the GFS model at 12 Universal Time tomorrow. Next, we'll look at the volcanoes. And on today, January 18th, 2020, we're seeing Mount Aso producing a 6,000-foot ash plume. Kuchino or Abu Jima, 3,000-foot ash plume there. Sakurajima, not sure on that one. Please don't build a campsite on the lower slopes of Sakurajima. It could be unhealthful. Mount Tall, little uptick there. Little bigger ash plume than we saw yesterday, now at 4,000 feet. Mount Semeru back on the list as it explodes. Flight level 15,000 there. Tokono, flight level 7,000 there. Sangay has dispersed the ash. And Sabancaya exploding, producing intermittent emissions and an ash plume of 24,000 feet. Please do not attempt to pole vault Sabancaya's caldera. Here's lightningmaps.org. And lightning is pretty light right now. Not a lot of strikes happening on the planet. Here's the jet streams, courtesy nullschool.net. That high altitude anticyclone still over Alaska. And more extreme meridional jet stream flow here. It looks like we're going to have extremely cold air striking western Mexico and so on. We've got doubled up jet streams here. And now we're going to have hot air hitting the UK also. Let's look at the eastern world. There's the east. And it looks like some cold air being injected down toward the Himalayas. And here's your value-added service U.S. Doppler radar map. And that is one hell of an ice storm going on, especially in Kansas, but also the Oklahoma Panhandle and the Texas Stovepipe. And let's just zoom in on that area real quick to give our viewers a better concept. And I don't know what is up with that. It's not showing the same data at all. Let's just zoom straight in on Kansas. And there must be some anomalies going on here with the data, folks. Looks like it's showing us yesterday's data. I don't know what's up with it. There we go. That's today. I apologize. And there's today's data. As we are going to get peppered with snow, expecting 2 to 4 inches here in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. No big deal. That ice storm is actually now in western Ohio. And let's zoom in on that area. There's that region. Fairly warm temperatures. Shouldn't be too extreme. And let's look at the U.S. water vapor map. And that should give you an idea of the way the flows are happening. Another extreme convergence here over northeastern New Mexico. We'll zoom in on that area for you, weather pornography enthusiasts. Great example of some cold air plunging into some warmer, dry air, producing all kinds of interesting cloud formations undoubtedly in those areas. Go out, take a photo. By the way, if you enjoy the content, please press like and subscribe on YouTube. And please share on your social media. As we've gotten all the way to 1.47 thousand subscribers. Oh my goodness. Have you head to smashomash.org yet? smashomash.org. scroll down, click on there, the newly unveiled smAsho forum. If you haven't been there yet, come check it out. It's been a wild success so far, and thanks everybody who has signed up and posted topics. Here's the colorized magnetogram as we show the smAsh team a couple of bonus features. Not a lot of areas of magnetic complexity going on there. And let's just look at the 171 angstroms view here. It's a 48-hour video, courtesy of the SDO site. We are out. Remember to stare at the sun and not to drink, and if you do drink, don't drive, and since it'll never be now again, may that solar wind be at your back, and that atherosclerosis absent from your veins.